2, so let's get going. Alrighty, so today's class is going to be specifically about using your signature line to essentially work for you. So, right, playing on the work harder, not smarter, add everything on your signature line so that it's there and you can automatically send people your booking link, all that fun stuff through that dynamic signature line. So I'll start sharing my screen and then we'll go over a couple of different signature options that you have when you are onboarded as an agent at Keller Williams. Everybody gets access to the BKCO Hub, which has an agent store. It also has different templates for creating signatures and resources. So this is one way that people have used the Keller Williams resources to create things like signature lines. So under marketing, they have to move things around, but there are different tech tools here. Okay, we'll move past this and then go straight into Canva, which is also available to you guys through the Keller Williams email. So if you haven't logged into Canva, you can create your signature line here. This will be in a form of a graphic that you can upload to your signature line. It won't necessarily have the dynamics of having a embedded link, but we'll talk about that next. So if you log into canva.kw.com, you can have access to the Keller Williams enterprise account that we have for Canva. You log in with your Canva, or you log in with your command password. And so if you don't have that, we might have to do a little bit of a password reset on the back end. So reach out to me if you need help with that. The other way that we can create signatures is just basically, I've advised this to some of the agents to just copy and paste my personal signature line, and they can use that if they like that particular style. So I'll show you what mine looks like, and you can see if this one is something that you might want to implement sooner than later. So in my signature line, it's pretty simple. I'm going to move some stuff over so I can share you the proper screen. But in my signature line, if you copy and paste and change the links, it'll work the same way. If you want something that's more simple, adding booking links are easy if you add the text and change the link using the tools down here. So if you want to do that, to make sure that we have our logo, this is one of the most important things that we need on the signature line is our logo for our office. So not necessarily the Ben Kinney brokerage. You're safe with the KW Eastside logo or whatever office whatever office you are in. Use that specific logo that's going to be available here on the BKCO Hub. If you're looking for logos, I want to also reference this as the best place to look for all of the resources, including logo. And so in each market center, we have a list of resources. This is the way this has been kind of switched around. So if you're missing out on a couple of things that used to be under training, they might be under your market center tab, specifically logos, vendor lists, recordings, all of that fun stuff. In this case, just wanted to highlight this is where you find your specific office logo. Going back into the signature line, you can download it, upload it, organize it, move it around, and then copy this. If I'm using my email to move things around and edit things, and when I'm done, I can copy this over and add it to the settings so that it appears on every email. The other thing that we need to make sure to have, in addition to our information, our that you are an agent, broker, whichever term you want to use, realtor if you're part of the realtor association, we need to make sure that we have that each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated. So make sure you have that in your signature line and all print marketing material, signage. Really, it's necessary to have this on all marketing materials. So if we wanted to copy and paste this and add it to our settings options, I'm just going to follow through with this first option because we're in the email. So I can show you guys really quickly how to access the settings options to update your signature line in case someone hasn't done this before on the call hasn't someone on the call hasn't done this before. If you go into your settings all the way down, you have a couple of options. As you can see, I've played around with this a lot, and so I have helped other agents build up signature lines. It's actually a preview of what of a signature line that I've built out, and I test it here. This is my playground for testing out signatures that I do create for other agents too. And we will create this specific signature in this training today. So I'll show you how that one works, but just to give you guys an example, you can have multiple kinds of signatures. You can have a ton of these ones set up. So I would go in to create new. If you don't already have one there that you can edit, it usually comes with a default signature uh, option that's already built in there, which at most times won't have anything particular. It might just be a blank placeholder, but if you want to create a new one, it would be the button right underneath. Make sure to adjust these settings, but before we go into that, I want to go through the next signature option for building the one that we want to save. So that would be on an app called YStamp or a website. So if you go to ystamp.com, create a new account, this will create a dynamic signature like the one I was showing you guys earlier here. If I activate this one, you should be able to see it, that signature line here. One sec. Create for work. Yep. Wonder why it's not giving me the options to save that. Oh, because I haven't done any changes. There you go. Okay, so that's another thing. If you I might need to do a refresh. If you encounter a time where it's not giving you the option to change the signature, there may be a reason why. It's probably because the signature has not been updated, so there is nothing to save. So activating the signature does take some time. So I want to show you how it looks like in real time with a different screen. So before I get to that, let me pull up my email and then show you guys a sample of that signature that we're going to create today. The visual helps because then you can see it in action before we going to build the actual signature itself. So I want to show you guys how the signature works by pulling up an email. And sorry, if I'm breaking up, I see that I am. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm sorry if my internet is a little bit unstable at the moment. Drop a one in the chat if you're there and you can and you have hands to shoot me a message. That I appreciate that. Thank you. Hold on one sec. It is slow. I can hear you. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Oh, all right. So I'm gonna share my screen here and you should see a different kind of signature. Technical difficulties here. Sorry guys, one second. That should work better. Alrighty. Oops. Okay. There is a slight delay in my internet and everything else. So I'm gonna do a quick refresh of that. But what I want to show you guys is all of the different buttons that I have available on my signature line that we're going to that we're going to create a sample of. I guess my audio is working, but my video is choppy, which is making me think that my video is not working properly. So here's the signature that we're going to create today. An example is the email, and what I want you guys to see from this one that separates it from a graphic that you can create on Canva is the ability for you to click on the phone number and have that reach someone. Click on the email and have it open up an email or the website. The buttons right here, you can customize, you can build in color, you can add in a logo. I'll show you what I have made for other agents that look a little bit more dynamic with different banners and quotes. And of course, the disclaimer too. So that's not a requirement for me. So I didn't include that here. This link is a hyperlink. But basically, all of these buttons are clickable. As you can see, when my mouse is hovering over the numbers, it makes it really easy to click in to a different platform or website. So let's get started on working on that. Hopefully, that kind of lays out the different options, ideas, so that if in case halfway through this, you're like, I don't think this is for me, that's okay. So I want to go through this step because I do believe this is awesome and has definitely helped me. And Janae as well, I want to show you her signature line because I absolutely love that. We added a couple extra stuff on there in different colors. So I've created a few signatures here. So when you log in and create a signature for the first time, you'll begin to see what you see here. But if I want to create a new signature, I'll go into create a new signature and then choose a couple of different options. You can create a free account if you're still on that step, just to give you guys a heads up. It's pretty easy to port into your signature line with a copy and paste as you do the previous method that I showed you. So creating this a signature line, you could do it once, keep it forever. I've not changed my signature line in such a long time, and I probably won't make any changes. So I don't feel the need to pay for the account itself, as I do only use it once, and the free option just gives you a few signatures. If you do have a team, you might consider and are hiring consistently, you might consider doing a team account or paying for that. But alrighty, so to start with creating a signature, I want to go over the different navigation tools. On the left-hand side, you have your basic navigation, the details, the images, social template, and all of that. The preview, the extension of those details will be in the center, and then the preview that'll be updated in real time is on the rightmost side of the screen. So as I'm updating this, I can see it happen in real time. So with editing the details, I'm gonna go here, field value, name. Sorry, moving things around. Okay. Alrighty. So this is a little bit different, and this actually has changed. So what I'm going to start with is adding the team members and then using that to fill in the signature line. I thought we have to choose the template first, but it seems like this is the new way. So top to bottom, employees start with that, add yourself, upgrade account to access feature. This is definitely different. So let me know if on your side it's because I already have a person here. I can definitely manage that. Edit existing. Okay, so I'm poking around here because this has changed quite a bit, which kind of makes me a little bit upset because I was just in here not too long ago. But let me know if you see on your side that you can create um, a team member because it's not showing me here that I have that. And manage groups. Currently on the legacy free plan with 1 seat. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that if you guys are not seeing it on your end, that you can create a an employee on the system that you can use that default. So that is so weird. Site 2-1. Fortunately, okay, field value, edit employee data, click here. Okay, sorry. Um, this is interesting. So the settings have definitely changed. Thank you for bearing with me while I scope around a little bit more, but I want to talk about exactly where I went just in case I was moving faster than you guys could catch. So going into edit and create a signature, if you're starting a new signature, there is going to be a settings below in details, edit employee data, edit company data. That'll update here in real time. So let's check that out as an option because I do see that I have at least one account. And so I can make those changes, but that button has been moved around, which we can see there in the uh, plan options. I guess it's great to talk about the plan options to see what that looks like if you're interested in scaling and what that would look for a team. So for a few employees, per employee, and growth for a marketing team with multiple admins. So this would be something that if you wanted to invest, there are different options, but right now we're just going to be working with one user on the free plan. So basic information, as I click there on editing the person, I'm going to start with adding my name, company website, jcnolan .kw.com. Everybody starts off with that. And if you want to change it, you definitely can. 11109 Slater Avenue Northeast. I should know this, but I don't. 98 Present 98033. And filling this all in, I'm just going, you can copy and paste 25 200. Okay, save. Apply changes across all platforms for the signature. Great. Organization name, service. If I wanted to implement connecting my workspace to Google, which I can see now that they can import your email signature right away, then you can go on to connect that. And as far as I know, don't think it is necessary to do that route to extract your email signature. Um, As I was editing that signature and I hit save, it logged me back out. So you might experience that on your end if you're following along step by step. So I went back to the homepage into the signature box and pulled up that signature line. So noticing here that all of the information that I wrote has kind of updated, but not in the right place. I'm noticing where I went wrong is I added my personal information in the company spot. So I'm going to change that KWE side and I should be good. Assuming that's all. Save. Great. Anything else? Workspace, signatures, edit. Going back to edit the signature itself, I'm determined to make it to the end to show you guys all of the different ways to edit these these templates because there are templates provided here after we decide on all of these key details, what we want to put on our phone number and all of that. That goes across all signatures. So I need to add my information. It opened up a pop-up, another tab. It opened up a new tab to show me that settings option. And I realized that I wish it didn't do that. I wish it just stayed in the same tab. I have too many tabs now. Um, Seeing that it's a little slow, I don't know if it's my internet connection or if it's the app itself. So I'm hoping you guys are not experiencing this like I am on my end. But I want to go through with the different tabs because it is going to pull in that information. I know for sure. Employee title taken from free text. There you go. There's the value option. Now I can type freely. Oh, that was a big one. I'm so glad they should. Okay, great. Value taken from employee company, which is the options down below, or free text. Now I have more control. We could do this a lot faster now. I had no idea that was there. So title, market center tech trainer, and email, label, email, value taken from, choose the option for free text as we have discovered this is great, but it also threw me for a loop. Um, and saving that, since you guys know where that's at, I'm gonna move a little bit quicker into adding social profile. I noticed that kind of jumped me a step. So from there, I don't know if I want to go through with that. I might want to go step by step on the left side of the screen just to make sure I don't miss that because there's my call for a logo or a headshot. It's going to be this one right here. So I can upload my headshot. I can upload a logo. Do I have a logo? I do have a headshot I can upload actually. Doo-doo. Pretty easy to go through here and upload custom. It still exists there. That's great to know. Then want to make sure that I can upload this, crop it to the dimensions that is required for that small circle or square that I want. So cropping your photo before uploading will really help with the organization in the long run. So upload it as perfect as possible. If you want your face to be in the center, if you want your headshot to expose more than just your head, your neck, and your shoulders, you make the call, but make sure to upload it as you want it. So I wanted to just add my head. That's great. I didn't have a headshot handy without a QR code, but this also works. my small head. So I'm going to hit done, and that should be the last of editing this step. I want to select that, make sure that that's included there. I'm not a fan of the square, but we'll work on that on the next steps when we look into templates. Okay, image URL, not necessary. If we want to add another, which also could be great, we could add the logo for KWE side. So I have that tab open. I'm just going to jump in and quickly download the logo that I want. I would probably opt into the original logo or this one. So you have options. If red is not particularly your color, I think the biggest thing with the signature line to stay compliant is to have each office is independently owned and operated. So I'm moving a little quick here just to drop in the signature line into or the um, logo. And then looking at the logo, it's about 7 by 3. It's pretty long. We want to extend that out. So if you choose the free range option, you'll be able to adjust that. Sometimes it ruins the spacing option. It doesn't really go in the right place. So it does help to kind of move things around here. And so the option to do that is swap images, though it doesn't look like, so you kind of see where that kind of comes in. My hack is to add it in afterwards. So I'm going to delete it for now so I can keep the spacing and alignment for my original template. As I deleted that, it ruined the template. I'll get to that in a moment, back down here. So here are the social profiles that are available in this link. If I wanted to add more, I'll go into add more and select all the different options. So they have email. That's a new one. I like that. And Vimeo for videos. If you have a video library you want to show off, um, property website. Um, Probably a WordPress that's common for a website. People will see that. Zillow, maybe if you want to add your reviews. Definitely, if you have time to put it on your website, I do that. App Store is a new one. I've never seen that before. So if you have an app, that would be key. That which we do. We actually do have an app. So some people have Android, so I don't know. Edit company social links gives us another window, which again I think will be will be the death of me because I have to switch tabs and I already have too many tabs. So adding the Facebook link should be easy. If you come in here and copy and paste, perfect. That works great too. Um, Finding your Facebook link, if you pull up your Facebook profile, just make sure that you're on your actual profile and you should be able to copy the URL and add it here. I won't go through that. I'll just show you that we can add more if we wanted to change in a more details. Here's where you could do that. So adding visual assets, think this might be something like a banner. So let's see where the placement goes. So I want to add that there just to see what options I have to play around with. I'm now in the settings. This is great to see that they have analytics now with available with your pro option. So you can see how many people have clicked your signature and specifically what lines, which is helpful information. If you really want to track what people are doing, what they're interested in, I would say that's key. That's a selling point for me for sure. So if I wanted to add more or remove more, how does that look like? I'm gonna go with threads. I'll add that, see how fast that populates. It doesn't right away. I'm gonna give it some time. Threads, free text, add value. Also seen as another way to actually edit the text in here too. So there's another Shortcut. We love shortcuts. Adding the free text, taking the value from the free text option, and then modifying that yourself right here in the field value. Easy. Alrighty, moving on to the templates because we want to make sure it is the orientation that we want. I personally want to have more space in between, so I'll probably work on that. If I want to add a banner below, um, then I can do that. But if you notice here, there are only so many template styles, which is why I emphasized in the very beginning that if you want something more simple, I have one too that I use, and you can copy my signature line and modify it. Just make sure that you change your email. And if you simply delete the characters and or write over it, you should be able to wipe my information out, use it for yours. Um, and here's another style. Orientation is going to remain the same, and it's going to have the photo on the right hand side. Photo in the middle, I always thought was weird, but obviously that doesn't work for me. Here's where we get really particular about what, and I want to change that because it really bothers me actually. Um, that I'm okay with. Uh, this is what I prefer, the classic version, although I do want to see my head shot to the left. Um, how it originally was. I'll stick with horizontal because that's probably, yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that option a lot. So maybe it's time for an update. Font options. Font options, you have a few options here. There's no option to upload a font. You can select a color if you're very specific about your color purple, or if you have a gold, that one is really hard to nail if you are very particular about your branding. So a nice shade of gold, finding those colors. And as you can see, I'm selecting the colors. It's updating in real time. My name should have an option to update the text below. I'm not so sure about that, but you do have flexibility to edit the color of your name. And I want to make mine pink. Okay, so font scale, line spacing. Again, as I'm editing it in real time, you should be able to see that being updated on the right side of the screen. Line spacing, I really want the photo to be away from my head. That's my goal. Or the text to be away from my photo. So let's see if we can nail that by the end of this call. Space from email. Okay. Space from the actual email. Customize each detail individually. Amazing. I have not seen this before. Um, but this is your signature line that you can copy and paste if you guys want to go through this and you're already past this step and you've already discovered this tool, I would start playing around with updating it on your Gmail settings as we walked through earlier in this class. I know some people only have a few minutes to spare to hop on the Tech Thursday class, especially in the morning. But again, with the modifications, going down another step, I really wanted to have a circle photo. So I'm going to change that, and updating it here in real time should modify my image. Seeing that that might not be image one, it's definitely image two. I'm okay with that. Swapping images. Okay. Don't want to do that at the moment. All right, position, size. Want to make my photo a little bit bigger. I wasn't too concerned about the QR code because I know it's going to be cut off because I wanted it originally to be a circle headshot and circle frame. So label, You can choose your different icons if you want it to be the letter or if you want it to be the full name, phone, email, website. You can change it all automatically. And that's kind of where you can incorporate the different color scheme that you set up initially right here. So going down to show you guys so you don't miss this step because this is what makes it super unique. Um, you can have none at all. You can also change the different tool that you use for that icon. If you want to have it your browser instead of a website, no, that's an email. That should be a paper airplane, and the website needs to be a browser, a mailbox. Mailbox could be email address. Oh, I love this, you guys. Mobile. Hmm. Perfect. Oh, employee phone. Oh, and I clicked that on accident, but it already is pulling me to a different screen to start a call. So that was cool. Okay, great. Different direction orientation. I'm gonna keep that optimized for iOS mail. I know some of you on the call too really love using just the full Mac suite and using calendar. So I know how much that might help with using the an iOS version might be something to consider if you go further into that step and you figure out that you do want to have that um, upgrade. Um, but you don't have to keep it for that long if you create the signature and you don't see any point of keeping it. I'm very pro, you know, going through and paying for it. But if you're going to make it once, it lives in your signature forever until you change it. And if you change the website, you can do that with just changing the hyperlink of where it goes. And that's easy. So as long as the signature is built, I think that's when you're in the clear. Personally, I have not changed my signature. Really loving how the social font icons or social icons have different styles now. So it could go with one with an outline, one that's filled in, one that's solo, just as the icon itself. Adjusting the size. I absolutely love how dynamic, how it feels like my brand, and that I can add more things as I go. So those are the main things. Adding your signature line. To add in your signature line. So let's go over the things that we want to make sure that we have there. It's our social media links, our website, email, phone number. Those are clickable. So if someone goes to your email and wants to call you right away, they click on that and they are calling you on their phone. So going through the one other thing we talked about as promised last class, we covered how to add your scheduling tool to your signature line. So the different options here I'm already noticing is this online meeting scheduling tool. This might be available on a pro account for some features, but that button there looks amazing. And I might want to do a light version. I might want to make it smaller. I definitely like that a lot. It's just not my color, so I'm going to change the color right here, and that I should be happy with. It's perfect. Icon shape. I'm a fan of the circled, rounded edges, and so I'm going to save it. And I already have a scheduling provider. Okay, I do. Add a scheduling URL. Amazing. So this is where you would add your booking link that we did start last week in our Tech Thursday class. You would add that URL right here. I'm just gonna add one just to test it to make sure that you can click it and it goes somewhere. Because if not, it won't be an active button. So I'm gonna put something right there temporary. I do have my link but I'm just going to keep one there for the meantime. Disclaimer, this is already added on here. And a couple of things too, if you didn't already notice, the awesome signature line that you can change as well. So I can add a custom, can I draw? Oh gosh, this became the best day ever. Um, I can draw my signature, and I'd probably use an iPad for this because I am absolutely not good at this. Uh, delete. If I want to use what's already here, they do have a couple of options, so you don't want to get analysis paralysis with that. Best wishes. I think that's cute. Fonts have better fonts now. I definitely need a signature update, I'll say that. Um, this is nice. I don't really like that. We'll stick to what it originally was. Hopefully I can find it. That's okay. Animate. I'm not sure if this would be available with the pro or with the free account version. You might have to do some digging to figure out at the end when you're done, because something as dynamic as that is not easy to copy and paste. We're looking for static signatures here. So if you want to elevate your signature and have that animated, that might be easier. Size, absolutely, and then save. Great. Disclaimer, this would be the important information down here in the fine print. You can adjust that. There are some things that are really good about that. The contents of this email and attachment are confidential and it's intended for the named recipient. That you see a lot on everything. And I think it's very, very important to have, I think it's more important with our industry to have that type of disclaimer, but it isn't necessary in the case of our office standards. What's more important is each office is independently owned and operated. um a quote, you can add that. Success, business, positivity, adding that. We will refresh your signature quote with every. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be available with the free option, and I'm not too worried about adding that today, but there are so many different options. Download the app. Okay, let's try that. Add it there. If we add download our app, pre-designed banners. This one I thought was cool. Again, um, there are options. Upload my banner. This is probably where I would really take this home, is adding a banner that has my logo, something that I can create on Canva, and upload that there for placement purposes. I will choose something to just add it there so we can all see where that goes. To play around, there is always a series of trial and error with this and creating graphics or anything. So now we have a ton of stuff here. And I went overboard. And that's okay, but the banner here looks great. It would be probably under the meeting. And I want to delete all the things that I'm not going to use for today's training. Disclaimer, if I want to add that, make a custom um, confidentiality disclaimer. Well, I want to copy this first because I want to keep that in there and add on each office is independently owned and operated. Independently owned and operated. And then delete the banner, delete the app. Let's delete the banner. I just want the banner. Oh, delete the other banner. I just want this banner, the photo banner. So then image gallery, in our case, not something that we use a lot. at this very moment. We have all of these images that we want, text, links that go to places we want, book a meeting. Just want to check and see that that works. It's probably best to try it here before you export everything, just to see. So I already have a profile here. So it's going to pull in all of the information. Oh, that I don't have. X I don't have. So it's bringing us to the original default settings. Your signature has exceeded Google character limit, so try to limit the characters. So there is a limit to this free version. So I want to choose to keep that, and the banner will be gone. I think that would be for uploading it into the Google Suite route where you would add in your app and then you can automatically transfer. I would prefer not to add and sync my email to a ton of different services all at once. So now we're back into our email. For the sake of the training, this is what I would do for safety, for all the different reasons. I'm using it to edit once. I don't want to, and I've kind of made my decision on kind of what I want to sync with my email, especially with all the different tech tools calling for that. I want to be very specific. So, signature line tech Thursday, and then create, and then I populate it right there, paste. And here is where I can work on some spacing too. So I wanted to move this over a bit. I'm going to come down here. Might not be able to move the icons. Actually, I can. So I went into the signature app just to go back and refresh. I went back into, not the signature app, I went back into my email settings, opened up a new signature, created a new signature here, and now I'm making adjustments to the new signature that we just created. So in this moment, I'm going to hit save because it's not super important that I want have that organized. I want to make sure that it works. So signature line is created. And then now I have to, for email use, signature line for Tech Thursday, signature line for Tech Thursday. So that signature will be applied to all new emails and on forwards and replies. If I want to have my email on every single email that goes out, I want to make sure to update these before saving this. Add insert signature quote before the text means that little space between your email and signature will have that breakpoint. Then save. Now I'm going to go in to check and see where that is. So there you go, you guys. I just updated my signature line. All of the different links are clickable. Not from here. You need to look at it from a sent email. So if I want to try this out, make sure that everything works, I'm going to send this to myself and wait for that email to come in. And there's my email signature. Here are all the links. Most importantly, the booking link that we created last week, which is for the meantime, my website. But hope this gives you guys something cool to play around with to elevate your branding overall, elevate the consistency of your branding and all the above. If you guys have any questions or want to talk more about this, I'm open to chat. If you guys want to drop anything now in the chat, we can talk over it today. But yes, I hope this was helpful. Drop a 1 in the chat if this was helpful, you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys. We will be back next Thursday for one last class for the month before we announce the next upcoming classes. This would be the best time if you guys want to shout me out in an email and let me know what kind of classes you want for the next month. I will be updating our list for April. I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.